Hello, my name is Kira. I don't have an opening. Let's just get right into it. I guess not exactly. Regarding the gaming stuff that has come out recently, Dead Boy Detectives was written, produced, basically, the only thing that Gaiman did was come up with the idea of two 13-year-old ghost boys who became detectives. The show is very far removed from him, and so I feel like I can watch it while really not supporting him. I don't know. So that's my disclaimer. That's my disclaimer on the whole thing. That's whatever. Let's just get into it, shall we? So, reminder, I like pausing and talking.
For an air mattress in the office, right?
And I'm gonna try to focus a little bit more on the scenes that I think are important so that my videos aren't quite too long. So,
you're not going anywhere. Your fancy pal used magic on a cat. He's got to answer for it.
Right then. This is a matter of diplomacy, so let me do the talking.
Diplomacy? It's just a bunch of cats.
They didn't like him, did they?
What's wrong? Just a bunch of cats.
We were
So-
invited to see the Cat King.
I am always talking about space. It's a very large space.
Hi.
Love his presentation. Love the...
Cats do that?
Can all cats do that? Of course not.
Love
I'm a
him,
cat
basically.
king.
I love how
I can
he
tell you're
did
not
this
the brains
character.
of the operation. Oh, sorry, I'm already bored. Which one of them used the magic on you?
The scrawny one that just had the nerve to talk to you.
Not to mention, cat scratches are like poison to ghosts, and there are too many cats here who seem to know that. I don't like the look of him. I am perfectly capable of handling this.
So,
Charles He's the
telling
Cat
secrets
King.
about me already.
One.
Don't you dare try any funny business.
Okay, so talking about space, notice how this is still kind of a large space, but it's much more cluttered, which gives it the illusion of being a smaller space. I am just going to keep talking about space because it becomes important in the Hell episode. Yeah.
What should your punishment be?
So, I don't want to sway one way or the other when it comes to relationships. But I do have to say that I've seen people like call this out as pedophilia, which first of all is the wrong word. But we have to remember that Edwin was 16 when he died and has spent 35 years as a ghost. So even if we don't count the 70 years in hell, which personally I don't, because I don't think you can really grow as a person while you're constantly terrified. He is what? What's I don't do math. He's like 51 or something emotionally. He's existed on Earth 51 years. If that's the wrong number, I'm sorry. I was an English major, not a math person. So he's had that amount of time to mature. Now, if you look at some of the ghosts, if you look at like Charles and say, he doesn't seem like a 51-year-old because he, of course, also lived 16 and then 35 years. He doesn't act like a 51-year-old. 51-year-olds are capable of acting like that. Like, unfortunately, like, one of the things that I discovered really quickly working in retail was that some people just never, ever actually mature. So if someone, is flirty, tries to act happy, is a bit quick to violence, those are traits that can be in a 16-year-old boy and in a 51-year-old person. So really the awkward relationship is Charles and Crystal, but they look the same age, so I guess that's okay. I don't know. I choose not to think about that. But people talking about the Cat King and Edwin being worrisome because of the age difference. Edwin has had time to mature. He's okay. Notice with his body language, he really doesn't back down during most of this conversation until the very end, and that's with a very specific sort of thing being proposed. So,
Where did Charles go?
Charles. Ooh.
he
Do you
gets
two
touched.
have,
He just kind of
special
turns. He pivots.
friendship?
We are best friends, if you must know.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. You don't have to do all that. This is a safe space. My kingdom is all about want and pleasure.
You're threatening to punish me.
Well, they're not mutually exclusive.
So, want, pleasure, but also consensual Cat King. So, he's very sexual, but consent is also important. Now, he does present that, later, so it is coming across as a little bit more aggressive, but I don't know, this scene is just interesting. I'm going to pause a lot during it.
Well,
We get kind of the nervous
can we clear up this magic
touch.
business? I'm afraid I don't see the harm in one little spell.
Oh, no? You don't? You are so oddly handsome. You fascinate me.
Ye old gay thoughts. Now notice again, Edwin does not back down. In fact, he kind of straightens. He actually kind of tilts his head forward. He's actually kind of confrontational. Eyes going half closed, completely closed, being touched. This is not someone. And then we turn the head away with the bracelet. Any way you look at that, that was not someone who was feeling threatened. The Cat King did not have this spell on him to make him, stay still or anything. It was not someone who felt like they needed to get out of the situation. That was someone closing their eyes when a person got close enough to kiss them.
What is this?
Up that? Well, it's your punishment. It's a caging spell. It keeps you in this town. My kingdom. Can't leave, not in a car, not in a boat, not in a plane, not on a train, and definitely not through a mirror. Little ghosts are so tricky.
Unacceptable. Kindly remove it. We cannot stay here. It is dangerous.
Oh, Edwin, what was it you just said to me? I don't see the harm in one little spell.
What is
Look, it
interesting is that the
comes
Cat
right
King will
off.
actually come through in the times that it actually becomes dangerous for them to be there. He
Then what
really
would make you happy?
is interesting.
I'm fairly sure we could figure something out.
Now he backs up. So, it's like, oh, possibility of a kiss is okay, but actual, sex. Whoa, no. Whoa, no. That's too much. That's going a bit too far. Especially for, first time meeting. Who knows? For some reason, that's just his limit. Probably, repression, but Notice how immediately the Cat King is going to give another solution.
But I can see that has offended your old-fashioned sensibilities. Look, I'm a fair and consensual Cat King. So I will give you another option. Count all the cats in Port Townsend, and then the bracelet will come off.
Cat count all of the cats in Port Townsend.
Edwin! Are you alright, mate? Where have you been? Other suggestions?
You could start counting cats, like counting them as fast as you can.
That Cat King would not give me something that easy. He's a trickster.
Oh, right. He tricked my wary partner into allowing that bracelet to happen. Oh. Are we now pointing out poor decisions? You possessed a witch, exposing us to reprisals from the afterlife. You know possessing the living sets off alarms, and yet nothing
I love how Crystal just like sits down like, I'm gonna watch this.
You are not the one going back to hell if we get caught. You just move on. Oi, we don't know what my afterlife looks like. And also, I'm not going anywhere without you, and no one's going anywhere until that thing is off. What else did Whiskers say?
Nothing. I told you it was quick.
Okay, props for the like Herculean level effort, but vandalizing my shit isn't getting us anywhere.
Oh, you love this, don't you?
Oh my god, here we go.
Which part do I love? Having a witch after me, or being harassed by my demon stalker ex? No, you're right. I love being stuck in a strange town where I have a literal 0% chance of finding my parents. Enough with...
Hi, Jenny. But also, you know, I do appreciate that Crystal, you know, is being, you know, harassed by her ex, but we know that she does have all other ghost friends, like, you know, the girl who hired the boys to, you know, get the demon out of her. But there's just no question about her staying or going. She's staying. So as long as the bracelet is on, none of them are leaving. And I do appreciate that. Even though, you know, immediately, first sign of criticism, and Edwin has to take it as like this super personal offense because he doesn't screw up. He doesn't make mistakes. And now he's made a mistake and it's like, well, shoot. You know, he is so not used to being the one who makes the mistake.
You're gonna get me kicked out.
Or you could just leave. I'm the one with the evil bracelet, so you feel free to hop on the next ferry.
Nah, he didn't mean that.
Oh no, he did.
Yes, I did.
But Crystal never considered
Before I
it.
say something mean. Like pointing out that you're so self-centered that your astronomically huge ego can be seen from outer space.
And again, Crystal being mean. I love her. I love her.
Wasn't gonna. It's alright. Mail call.
They're cute.
Hey, you need to stop sneaking up on us, but... Mail, you do not have to bring the agency mail here. We're not staying long.
Mail gets forwarded to wherever you are.
Love how you just
Shut up,
tossed
mate.
it and
It'll only take a second for our reputations catching over here in Port Townsend, won't it?
We do not have to catch on in this town. Again, we are not staying.
Well, it's not all junk mail. Look, a magic shop.
Yep. Not a bad showing for a cursed walrus who's trapped on land looking like a man, and that's not coming off.
Right, you're a cursed walrus. Well, that's cool.
With shelves full of magical trinkets and not one of them will work?
Yep. That there's one of them spells that can only be undone by the caster.
Great.
Well, no luck here. So that bracelet is staying on. So let's start counting cats. You okay, mate?
This is such a mess.
he just speed runs this
A real mess is
sexual
one day
awakening.
finding out that your life's been taken away. I was once a mighty walrus, free in the ocean, a proud king of the deep blue. It all started one night.
We are in a bit of a time crunch.
No, what he means is, there must be something else that can help us.
Edwin makes the decision. Charles makes it bearable for other people to listen to what that decision is. Notice how Nico's room has a lot more stuff in it, makes it kind of a smaller, safer space versus Crystal's, which has no stuff in it, and notice which things happen in each room. There's a lot of conflict in Crystal's room. This room is going to end up being one where
Right.
problems are solved and people
I
are
need to
like,
open the shop.
comfortable.
Crystal, can you keep an eye on her?
Yeah.
You can call me if anything changes.
That was rather embarrassing for you.
That's enough! Crystal!
Oh,
Is she all right?
I'm okay.
Some level of care.
All I saw was colors and light. Whatever's doing this, I've never seen anything like it.
You know, you had me scared there for a minute.
Honestly, I think the way that they didn't try to... I don't want to say rush. I do not want to say rush with the Crystal and Charles relationship, but the way that they allowed the Crystal and Edwin relationship to progress over the full length of the season, I think really benefited the two of them. And they ended up having a dynamic that is much more interesting to me, just personally. Like, I think that they play off each other in a really interesting way if you think about them as they are at the end of the series.
Here is the list of questions to ask her when she wakes.
So you'll help her?
This is an almost perfect example of a supernatural mystery that can only be solved by us. Clearly, the living doctor proved entirely useless.
Come on, Edwin. It's not his fault Western medicine is so limited, is it?
Charles, stop being so nice. You want to stay with Nico?
Why do I have to babysit?
God, the
Being a
pivot.
detective is not all invading people's minds, reading objects, and ta-da, there's your answer. Sometimes, actual detective work
Charles
is
is
required.
actually like watching
We
him
need
just
our
like,
reference books.
yeah.
Just one problem there, mate.
And we got an issue. God. They're so used to each other.
Is it this one? No. No.
This might be my favorite scene in the entire series. The second episode is just...
Charles? I can't see what you're pointing to, can I?
I'm unfortunately chained to a town across an ocean, but I'm doing my level best. Now, it should be down and to the left.
Is that your left or my left?
We have the same left!
The second episode is just funnier than the first one. I don't know.
I just have a couple of questions for you. Your full legal name?
No, thank you.
Okay, do you have a history of fainting? Yes. Are the women of your family prone to hysteria? Oh, come on, Edwin. You're supposed to rest.
I'm sorry if I made you worried, complete stranger, but I usually feel better after a hot shower.
Oh, so this has happened before? To what level of frequency?
Close space.
Look, there's nothing that matches any of Niko's symptoms in here or in those.
Check again. And move quickly, please. Remember, death has been here and can very well come back. You must have missed something on page 181.
No. I checked page 181 and 325. Look, I can't make heads or tails of whatever these old toffs are on about. And also, half of these are written in ancient Aramaic.
They are perfectly understandable with a bit of study.
I could just... Oi! You'll rip your arm clean off. Stop that now. I'm not as quick as you, but I'm here to help.
When Charles gets serious, he does get serious, and Edwin
Can't
does
you tell
listen.
me what really happened with the Cat King?
I have
Just
told you the lot of
not
it.
about...
He was uncivil, garish, and I
About
was taken
this.
off guard when he spoke close to my ear.
What? You whispered in your ear?
That is not important. This is a
Speed
waste of time.
run.
Please, focus on the case at hand.
Right. Fine then. How about this? Take a deep breath. Put your big brain to work, because the answer's got to be in there.
He's just so good at working with Edwin. Like, Edwin is not an easy person to work with. Charles just gets him. It's so great.
Charles, you're a genius. I need another book.
Oh. This one doesn't look all that bad.
Grab that one earlier.
Oh,
Oh, I think I'm gonna be sick.
Charles, you're a ghost. You cannot get sick. Now, which one of these sneaky paranormal parasitics found its way inside Nico? See if you can find a corresponding symptom.
Listen, Nico. I know we don't really know each other. I've been going through some. I don't know, it sucks when you feel like you can't talk to anyone about it. Like, even when you're around people, you still feel alone. I don't know my family, and I'm trying to track them down, but I just don't know where to start. And what's stupid is that I could really use some parental advice, right? Like, I want my parents to help me find my parents.
It's actually quite sad how Crystal kind of just latches on to the first person who will listen.
He always knew it.
You know, it's good that it gets
Nico
Nico to open up, but
my mother sent me back to boarding school the day after the funeral. Far away from the sadness, but the sadness came too.
So, explain it to me again, but as if I haven't been investigating the supernatural for like decades.
It's all in this book.
Well, we don't need to look at that book.
Charles?
Jesus, you guys are like a dead married couple on acid. Just show me the... Oh my God. Holy shit. Why does today keep getting more disgusting?
Nico is infected with a paranormal parasite. Dandelion sprites.
Which sounds cute, but they're not.
They feed on adoration, attention. You see it as the fuzzy pink light you described.
Don't look at the lights. Got it.
we
They make
finish
people
each
look at her
other's
and they eat up the attention.
sentences.
And when they grow strong enough, then
Then what?
They exit the body.
Exit the body how?
however they can. But I would not expect it to be polite.
It's a great way of putting it.
Who are you talking to?
This is a running gag, but I enjoy it every single time.
Okay, I don't really know how to do this, so I'm just gonna do it.
And she opens up
Okay,
to Nico
this
again.
is
I love how
sort of
Nico
hard
is
to
just this
understand, but I was
wonderful
talking to my
person that just
secret
people feel like they can
friends.
open up to. She's so lovely.
Friends? Oh, you can't see them right now, but they really want to help you.
Okay.
I'm sort of special. Okay, that's not the right word. Anyway, I can see them, and they just have a couple of questions for you.
Are you insane?
She's perceptive.
Now,
Now,
and the
if we
bond
can
was
find out where
formed.
these particular sprites were acquired. Perhaps there'll be a clue on how best to deal with them. Rose. Crystal? Ask her if she spent any time in woodland areas as of late. And were there any graves or decaying bodies near her in the woods? Crystal, hello?
Mate, give her a minute.
When did all of this first start?
That is not what I said.
Well, I guess it was when...
This is nice though, because she's also taking on the role that Charles does, because you can see how she unfortunately Edwin is a character that people do have to adapt to, and he does start to adapt to other people. Really begins with Nico, obviously, when he realizes how much Charles is dealing with. He does adapt to that as well. He is a different character at the end than he is at the beginning, but the same way that at Tragic Mix, Charles was like translating Edwin's very rude speech, and now Crystal is translating for Nico Edwin's 1916 speech.
I went looking for dandelions. When I was little, my dad used to say that if you needed a little extra courage, a dandelion in your pocket would do the trick. And when you leave Osaka to go live on the opposite end of the globe, you need courage.
Nico's map helps, yeah?
7. Or was that 6 again?
No, I don't think that's a cat. It's like a raccoon or something.
All this tosh of counting cats is an exercise in humiliation.
Well, me and Crystal could help. We'll make it a group effort. You know, I liked having her around.
Charles, that is very clear. But my father would call her a bobtail.
Well, that's not very nice. Your dad would have called me an unlit cub, or worse. So let's not worry about dads, yeah? You know, when you use these old-timey insults on me.
There's that
always look
moment
them
of like, and then Charles just kind of covers it up.
I shall try to be nicer.
It's like,
But Crystal
Edwin is aware. I feel like Edwin is aware. He just never
Bassett.
pushes the issue,
Well,
and Charles
that
never
sounds a lot
opens
like
up.
you, doesn't it? Wait, maybe that's why I like her so much. See? We're figuring this out.
My mood isn't about Crystal. I simply hate that I'm the reason we are stuck in this town. I should have known.
He hates making the
It's not
mistake.
being perfect. I knew this was about that stupid cat king. Look,
I mean, Edwin very clearly says that his issue is that he hates being imperfect, and Charles turns it into, it's the cat king. His personal vendetta is actually hilarious.
look at your fists. That only happens when you're very tense, mate. God, I haven't seen you this tense since the great chewing gum debacle of '06.
How do you have a debacle over chewing gum? I
What is
really
it?
want to
You're
know.
not telling me.
Fascinated by you. You are like a dog with a bone.
Part of being a good detective, isn't it? Asking questions when things get hazy.
Charles, I do not understand why you are so fixated on the minutiae of my chat with the Cat King. It isn't as if I...
Right. I think we found something.
Notice again, the boys are in an open space.
Perhaps whatever information used to be here would have been of some help, but it's been chiseled away.
Can I grab it? Should I not grab it?
I'm not sure. Just give me a...
I won't grab it.
It's time for another discussion on your impetuous behavior.
Sure, mate. After the skeletons.
Bollocks!
And in order to do that,
I'm gonna regret this, but Crystal, give me that foul book. Maybe
I'm
there's
gonna
something in there.
love this.
and I need to charge into my place.
What are you doing? What are you doing out here? You're supposed to be monitoring Nico.
I'm sorry. Are you kidding right now? What are you even looking at?
Sorry. Again. I guess I'm just distracted.
Let's go.
But it's totally gonna be handled. I can see them and communicate with them. With me so far?
I mean, yes.
Okay, good. So, ghosts are real, and so is a bunch of other crazy stuff. And right now, one of those things is inside you, almost to burst you open like a reverse piñata.
That got dark.
But it's okay because my ghost friends are detectives, and they're gonna help you. You just have to trust us.
Crystal, you can't go around telling people ghosts are real. They will think you're insane, which maybe you are, but they will make things messy.
Okay, she threw up a rainbow and turned into a human nightlight. What was I supposed to tell her?
I'm glad you told me.
See? She's glad.
Wait, really? Just like that?
Well, I'm very open-minded and also very concerned about bursting open.
Honestly, I just find her so charming.
Again, so the framing of this shot, it's kind of like the one in the boys' office, but they are going to solve the problem within that framing. So again, the smaller space indicating kind of a safeness. I do love that Crystal was defending her actions to Edwin, and then Charles was like, no, she was right. And Crystal just like, wait, I was? Like, it totally sums up that dynamic right there.
Please tell me you figured it out.
We found a sacred vase at the shrine.
Well, that's good.
What's good?
They found a sacred vase at the shrine.
That sounds good.
Then Charles dropped it. And now we need that sacred vase to trap the sprites.
Charles, you dropped it?
Didn't mean to.
Who's Charles?
The teenage boy who dropped the vase.
That sounds bad.
She says that sounds bad.
We can hear her.
We can hear. God.
This stupid vase.
God, I love them.
All right.
I love
You
them.
lot to pile on. Now, I know
At least we can agree on one thing. Charles shouldn't have dropped the shrine.
We may not have the enchanted vase, but we do have an enchanted jar. That's what Tragic Mix said, right?
Assuming these offerings are still sacred, there.
I do wonder a little bit about the consistency here. Like, okay, so they're holding a book. Does the book float? Or, like, because it's theirs, it doesn't float, but don't they own the jar? Like, because it was given to them? Like, it's just, you know. What objects that the boys are, like, carrying around can be seen?
Makeshift vase.
Right. I have a really attractive offer.
This is, of course, really worrisome of Crystal to just disregard her safety like that.
I have something you want.
Definitely.
Have to satiate us.
Me. My body, it's all yours if you leave Nico without hurting her.
Crystal, have you got mental?
Like, I do appreciate that, you know, that she definitely feels the lack of family. And that is leading into a lack of sense of self and also self-worth. You know, she doesn't just find the boys and is magically, like, better. You know, she still feels like she wants things that, like, a normal teenager would want. I do feel like they could have aged the characters up 2 years. And it would have perhaps been better. I mean, they would have still been in high school at 18. 17 or 18. Like, I feel like they could age them up just a little. Crystal certainly doesn't act like a 16-year-old, you know, going to clubs and all that stuff. Not clubs, but, you know, the old movies and all this, all that stuff. What was I talking about? Anyway, she definitely, you know, still wants her family, and that's going to be a running theme. And I think that's great, actually, that she doesn't just find these ghost boys and they magically make everything better. Like, she trusts them, she's hanging with them, she's not going to leave them, even though she could, potentially. But, doesn't solve everything, you know?
She has a family. You can't take her away from them. I don't have a place. I don't belong anywhere. Please just take me instead.
The humor in this episode.
It's like mixed with lemon or something. It's bad.
Loki love their outfits, though. Maybe he would wear the skirt.
You cut it kind of close there.
You're welcome.
So proud of yourself.
I love them, actually.
Big man trapped 2 in Sprite in a jar.
Hey, why don't you trap a baby in a crib and act?
Oh yeah, you would love that, wouldn't you?
Day officially saved.
Job officially jobbed.
Third time he's handed the book over like that.
That was rather brave.
Very nice. Very.
But also dangerous and unprofessional.
Oh,
Do not
but
do it again.
add an insult at the end.
It looks like you're feeling like your old self again.
I suppose I am.
You do realize that's the closest thing to a compliment you're ever going to get from Edwin, right?
Yeah. Holy shit, your hair.
I know, I look amazing.
The sprites really work.
Oh my god. Are these your friends?
But you can see them?
Near-death experience.
She's so sweet.
Nice.
Are you the ghost detectives?
Dead boy detectives.
Sweet name.
Friendship leveled up.
Oh, look at these cute little guys.
Cute?
That's offensive.
I think it's past the time for us to get rid of these little irritants.
Couldn't we let them live in my
Twitter.
room? It's not like they can hurt anyone inside this jar, and maybe I can convince them not to hurt people.
So this jar is a hate crime.
Hang on.
Lydia.
I'm gonna tell you something because I think you really. We're not grateful.
They're just upset. I know what it's like to want something you can't have.
Okay.
Oh boy, immediately tucking out the collar, tucking out the bracelet.
What gives asshole?
Speed
What are you
run.
doing with that butt ugly sweater?
All agency mail. Seems like word got out that the Dead Boy detectives and their brand new medium are in town.
One sec.
And now we must transform a bird in the sexiest way possible.
Deep breath. And mangy cat king. Monty. Gasp. You are so charming.
They gasp.
Oh, who wouldn't trust that face?
This poor innocent crow boy has no idea what's coming. So, that was episode 2. As a whole, yeah, I think it's funnier than episode 1. I really think that the most interesting scene is honestly with the Cat King and Edwin, just because of the body language and kind of everything that goes down. And again, the idea of the boys being like 51 years old in terms of time on Earth really, I think, kills that. You know, just silly arguments. People finding silly arguments to hate on ships, and that ship what you want to ship, you know, whatever. Anyway, yeah, so continuing just with the size of things, the size of rooms, you know, smaller, like they took care of the dandelion sprites within the confines of Niko's room, which is a safer space, and you know, in broader spaces they are in danger, and this is going to continue until episode 6, in which it is all going to turn around. So it's just fun to point out, I suppose. Anyway, so I'm Kira. If you like my reaction videos, would like to see more, would like to see analysis videos, please like, subscribe. It means the world to a small channel like me. And, you know, I just hope you're doing well wherever and whenever you are. I will see you later. Bye.